Hi guys, this is Lada from astrolada.com, and I decided to start with a series of short videos on very common astrological topics that I get used all the time by people on emails, and instead of writing to everyone a separate email, I'm gonna start recording here live from my bedroom answers on hot topics in astrology that maybe will help some of you. And the topic today I want to talk about is soulmate compatibility. So many people come to me and say, what shows that we're soulmates in astrology? And let's first talk a little bit, what do I think soulmates are? Well, this is someone who feel you on the soul level. Imagine that you have two partners that you're trying to choose from, and one of them is perfect on books. One of them looks better, has a better job, your friends prefer him. On paper he is the great match, but you're drawn to the other guy or to the other girl that maybe has a problem with drinking, or that maybe is your family doesn't like, and probably is not as good looking, and you're wondering, why is that? Why am I drawn there? Well, this is the soulmate compatibility. This is this inexplicable urge your soul has towards another person. And sometimes soulmate compatibility and attraction can be one way. You know that you see someone and you think, this is the person, I feel them, we've had a past lifetime together. So many people say, like, I get so many signs, this is the person, I see them, I meet them by chance all the time, but the other person has no idea liking into you. So there is one way recognition of soulmate. Sometimes your soul recognizes and craves that person, craves the soul and the attention of that person, while they don't. And of course, the best soulmate connections are when both people recognize each other's souls. And these are the types of compatibility I want to talk about. But I'll mention also about the one that one way, it goes one way. One likes one person and the other one does not see them, does not feel them. Maybe they keep you hanging on because they don't want to be alone, but they're not really into you while you're dying for them. So that's what soulmate is. You see this person, you recognize them on a soul level. No list of check will work. It's inexplicable. It's on a deep chemical. It's not on a deep psychic level. So where is this shown? Actually, in astrology, you cannot see it from the birth chart. And I know I'm kind of might burst your bubble here, but this type of attraction you can see from a chart that it's called the 9 divisional chart. In Vedic astrology, it's called the Navamsa. But I want you to try this with tropical zodiac, because the results I've gotten with tropical zodiac are crazy good. And there are in astro.com, in Vault of Heavens, there is 9 divisional charts that you can generate for your birth chart, for your compatibility. Actually, I have a whole course that I speak about this kind of soulmate compatibility. You can see the link below. Because I'm not going to do here a 3-hour lecture, I'm going to just quickly tell you, for those of you who want to have some outlines, if you don't have time for a whole full course or anything, but if you're interested to learn about this whole system, or how do I say, technique, you can check out the whole course. But the D9 course, or the 9 divisional chart, which is derived from the birth chart, but the birth chart that is kind of split into 9, and it's a totally new chart is derived, is what the ancient called the chart of the soul. It represents the urge of your soul, what your soul urges for. Actually, Vedic astrologers also call it the chart of your future lives. They say that the older you get, the more you start behaving like your 9 divisional chart. And they say that actually after 50, your 9 divisional chart corresponds to your behavior way more than your birth chart. Because we're born with something set, default, this is our birth chart, but we can change it. And usually we change it towards the 9 divisional chart, because this is the pull of the soul. This is the 9 divisional charts correspond to the 9th house in astrology. And the 9th house is the sign and the house of Sagittarius, which is about our goals and our spiritual journey and the goals of our soul and the spiritual journey in this lifetime, the purpose of life and the meaning of life. So the 9 divisional chart is like basically uber big nine house that you see dissected. And the nine divisional chart shows what your soul is yearning to become. Because, as I said, the Vedics, they call it the chart of your future incarnation. So your soul is not, you yourself has the seeds of potential for these qualities of your nine divisional chart in this birth, but they haven't developed yet. They start showing towards the second part of your life, towards, or maybe, towards the last few 20, 30 years of your life. You start behaving more like it, but you crave to go in that direction. Even if it's harder than your birth chart, doesn't matter. You're pulled. This is this kind of inexplicable psychic pull towards certain things because your soul wants to grow into that. And because your next life, you'll be with a horoscope very similar to that nine divisional chart. And thank you. I'm reading comments here. I'm getting distracted. But so this nine divisional chart, it's most important to see for soulmate, for soulmate connection. Actually, in Vedic astrology and also Western now is starting to recognize it, that it's also called the chart of, I told you, the soul, the future life, but the chart of marriage, because they realized, the ancient Vedics, they realized that true marriage and the true dharmic partner, the one that helps you become who you're supposed to be, it's usually someone that you're drawn to because of their, because they correspond to your nine divisional chart with their birth chart. So their birth chart, your birth chart is what you already are. Is the things that are set in stone that you've become because of past lifetimes, because of programming in this lifetime. You carry those qualities of your birth chart already. But the nine divisional chart that's derived from your birth chart is what you're striving towards, where you're going towards, but you still don't have those qualities, but they draw you like a moth to a lamp. You're drawn towards those things, even if there's very difficult combinations. So what you want to see for soulmate compatibility is to see that your birth chart aligns with the nine divisional chart of another person. And it's not for everything, just for certain things in particular. So what would it mean if someone's nine divisional chart aligns with your birth chart? This person whose nine divisional chart aligns with yours, he craves, his soul has a pull and an urge to grow into his nine divisional chart, but he still doesn't have those qualities. So he finds someone and he attracts someone who carries those qualities already established in their behavior. So through your birth chart, if you have those qualities and those similar combinations of this as this person has in their nine divisional chart, this person with the nine divisional chart will feel pulled towards you, will feel attracted, will feel this kind of soulmate passion, soulmate inexplicable pull towards you. It's like, I don't know why I want to be with this person, but it's that's it, my soul craves that. I can't sleep, I can't think, it's only this person that I want. And when you look at their charts, they're both of their birth charts, you might see like the compatibility is not really good. I mean, like, why are they together? I don't see, But this other person's chart is attracted to your birth chart. Their nine divisional chart corresponds or is similar to your birth chart. And because of that, there is the soul of this person wants to grow into that, and you will be his mirror. You already have those qualities. You will help him develop those qualities of his nine divisional chart because he's growing into that, into his next incarnation. But that will be, if it only goes one way, that will be a one-sided love. We've seen many people, there are even marriages with one-sided love. One is in love with the other, or boyfriend, girlfriends, So it's basically, if your soul nine divisional chart is drawn and it's similar to the birth chart of another person, you will be drawn to them. But if their nine divisional chart is not compatible with your birth chart, they will not have the same emotional response to you. Their soul urge, the nine divisional chart, will not feel compelled towards you because you don't have those qualities which their soul is searching for. So that this is how one-sided love happens. But when both ways, their 9 divisional chart with your birth chart and your 9 divisional chart with their birth charts are aligned, and only certain factors, you don't have to look for Venus ascendants, there are just 3 factors that you have to look from one's 9 divisional chart to another's birth chart, and from the other person's 9 divisional chart to your birth chart. And that's the moon, that's the ascendant descendant axis, and that's the axis of the nodes, the karmic nodes, because this is the journey of the soul. The moon is as well, if someone can feel you, do you emotionally correspond to each other? And that is also the ascendant, because this is your mission in this lifetime as well. This is your incarnation, who you are, but it's also the opposite sign. So I explained to you this in the course very in depth, but I very quickly wanted to give you an example, to give you this very amazing technique. But you need to know the exact time of both people, because the 9 divisional chart changes the sign of the ascendant every 3 minutes. If you have a mistake of birth time for 3 minutes, it's not going to be correct. So you need exact birth times between both people. But that's the most exact method that I have found. That is, it's amazing. It's a ancient Vedic method. And I think it should be familiar to the Western world as well. And use it with tropical zodiac. It gives better even results, you know. And I'll give you an example. I mean, like in my course as well, if you want to take the full course that I explain with many examples, that with my previous partner in life, we had fantastic birth charts that were very compatible, the natal birth charts, and everyone was like, oh, you're so the same, you have such similar qualities, but only his 9 divisional chart or soulmate chart was attached to my birth chart. So only I had the qualities his soul was yearning for to grow into, while there was no connection from my 9 divisional chart, my soul urges, towards his natal chart. So it was one-sided. And then I met my current husband, and our compatibility just with the natal charts, it's like squares and like fire. I'm air and fire. He's water and earth, like exactly totally opposite. And so many astrologers, just by looking at the normal birth chart, were like, we don't think it's gonna work. Why are you even attracted to each other? There is like no indications there. But when you look at our soulmate charts, the soulmate charts ones to the birth chart of another, both ways going, they're amazing compatibility. In my soulmate chart, in my 9 divisional chart, I'm all water, I'm all scorpionic energy, I'm all, you know, while he's fire and air. So we basically, but most importantly are 3 factors: the moons, the nodes, and the axis of the moons, the axis of the ascendant. It's not just the moon sign, the opposite as well. So this technique blows my mind that there's a certain way to check it. It's very fast once you learn how to do it. And I explained to you this in the course. But guys, do check that, especially if you're more advanced in astrology. But in the course, even if you know absolutely no astrology, I explain you over 3 hours webinar, was 3.5, how to check everything, how to generate your chart, where to go to get the free 9 divisional chart, how to find the position of the moon, how to compare them. And I give many examples also, I think, with celebrities and stuff like that. But this is one of my favorite courses I've ever done, and I want more people to know about it. That's why I gave you the gist of the heart of that information from that course, because it's such a rare technique, but it's so amazingly eye-opening. So the ancient people knew. They knew how to do those things. We have forgotten, so a bit of a reminder there is fun. But anyway, thank you, and let's see